Okay, so after yesterday's class, it's probably a good idea to just put this process of finding the rate of change into a video for you to help you work through these problems. I took this problem here right out of IXL, and you can refer back to this video as you work through IXL J14. So we're asked to find the rate of change, as we were yesterday, and it tells us that this graph shows how Pumpkin the puppy's weight varies with age. So obviously as the puppy gets older in months, the weight will go up. It's gaining weight, it's growing, and when it was born at 0 months old, as you can see, it weighed 1 pound, and then it's gaining weight as we go. So as we talked about yesterday in class, we know that rate of change is really just a ratio that compares the amount of vertical change to the amount of horizontal change. And so vertical change means going up usually, or sometimes down. Horizontal change means going left to right on the graph. And so we saw that the Greek letter D, or delta, which is abbreviated with this triangle that's the letter D in the Greek alphabet, that means change. So the abbreviation was that we can find the rate of change by just finding the change in y and then divide that by the change in x. So what we'll need to do for this problem then is we'll need to identify a couple of points on the line. We need 2 points on the line in order to do this. So I need 2 ordered pairs. And let's see, I've got one here. Let me undo, that's a little, don't want to cover the number up. And then I've got one here, and I see one here, and I also see one right there. Now it doesn't matter which 2 points I use, because the line, since the line is a totally straight line, I could use these 2, or 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 any combination. It's always easiest to use the simplest and smallest numbers possible, so I'm going to use this first one, 0, 1. And then I'll go ahead and use this one, which is 1, 4. And so what I have to do next is find the actual amount of change in y, and then find the amount of change in x, and put them into this fraction, and then the last step will be to divide. So from 1 to 4 is an increase of 3. Now, if you get really tricky numbers, and it's hard to do, you could just use a calculator and subtract 4 minus 1 and find that the difference between these 2 numbers is positive 3. So that's 3. And the next one's pretty obvious. From 0 to 1 is obviously just an increase of 1. And then I take my calculator and I do 3 divided by 1, which we know equals 3. Now what's nice is this, in IXL, they kind of give you a hint. They're telling you it's basically a unit rate, because it says per month, and it's indicating that you're looking for some amount of change here compared to this amount right here. All right, now the only thing that's different in this case is the line's going down. And so I'm still looking for a rate of change, and that still is basically going to be the change in y divided by the change in x, and I'm still going to need to find those amounts and divide, and to do that I still need 2 ordered pairs. The only difference is I know that in this case my answer will be negative, because I can clearly see that the line is going down. So let's find some ordered pairs here. I'm not sure where the line is hitting there, so I'm not going to even try that one, but I'll look for exact intersections like this point, and this point. So I've got a couple of options. I could take these 2, or I could take these 2, or if I wanted, I could use these 2. Again, I like to keep things easy and simple, so I'm going to use these 2 right here. So that's 2 and 60. So x is 2, y is 60, and then the other one is 5, 50. So just like we did in the other problem, I got to find the vertical change, and then the horizontal change, From 60 down to 50 is a decrease of 10. From 2 to 5 is an increase, because remember, we're still moving in a positive direction in terms of x. It's only the y that's going down. So from 2 to 5 is an increase of 3. Now when I do that on my calculator, I'm going to divide negative 10 divided by positive 3, which is going to give me negative 3.3, repeating forever. When I round to the nearest hundred, that would be negative 3.33.